Welcome to another travel product review. Today we're going to review the duck tour of Miami and South Beach. Now, the one thing about our reviews is they're all favorable. And we take a look at the pictures, the text, and we also comment on the negative reviews while also mentioning where this tour is within the city. And so what we do is you also put a 10-minute timer. We don't try to go past 10 minutes. We try to answer and give all of our feedback within 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and hit the start on that 10-minute timer and let's get started. Now, the first thing I do when I look at any product listed on GetYourGuide is I like to look at the title, Duck Tour of Miami and South Beach. And when I look at that title, it just tries to give me an idea of what I'm supposed to see. And when I look at the pictures, I try to see if it matches the title. And so I come here and I see the duck boat. Now, the duck boat is popular in many different cities, so there's some people that take the duck tour in many different cities, and this is just the same. It's a duck boat. Now, this is Miami Beach, and this is more Miami Beach, and these are people taking pictures, and this is it going and doing a splashdown, and it going past some of the millionaires' homes, and it going past the cruise ships, and that's all the photos. Now, I like the fact that there's only 10 photos here. So I always believe that when a vendor like Duck Tour of Miami posts those pictures, they should curate those photos and they should always look for those home runs. Now, what I didn't see in the photos were pictures of Miami, the downtown Miami part. Now, most of it's Miami Beach. You splash down, you will see Miami and the Miami skyline. But when it mentions Miami, I like to see one or two pictures of the skyline in this because you will see the Miami skyline. And then I also look at the activity provider. Right here it says Duck Tours of South Beach or Duck Tours South Beach. That lets me know that it's the vendor that's putting this product on, because sometimes there could be other people that sell something in addition to this, but at least here you know that you're getting the vendor who is putting the tour on. And then I'll also like to glance over at the reviews right now. 541 reviews. That's a lot of reviews, in my opinion, compared to what's going on with other products in this area. So that gives me an idea that this is a tour that people are taking. Now, I just like to look down here, free cancellation, reserve now, pay later. Those are all part of GetYourGuide that they like to offer this for the tours, and that's a benefit of working with them. This is an hour and a half, and it's a live tour. Now, I also like to look at the availability and the price. So when I look at the availability, I'm looking to see if there's any discount or a price difference between going during the week and during the weekend, and there's not a price difference. And then I pick here, and then I also see if there's a price difference depending on the age. And there's an adult ticket, there's a child ticket, and there's an infant ticket. So I will go ahead and say even infants have to pay. And the reason why infants have to pay is because you're taking up a seat on the bus, the boat, and that's fair in my opinion that you have that an infant has to pay because it takes up a seat. And if you didn't know, that's why they do that. Okay, now I like to glance down and see the highlights of the experience to see what are they highlighting. Have fun while seeing the sights and learning about Miami's rich history. They mentioned Miami there. I like to see the pictures that match that. Visit the Art Deco district of trendy South Beach. I like to see some Art Deco pictures. I think when I came in here, let me see if I can find and one Art Deco photo, and I don't think there's an Art Deco photo in there. And so that's where I always think that the companies and the vendors, sometimes they upload a product and then they don't touch it for a while. You should go back there and make some changes and read the information yourself. And then splash down in Biscayne Bay and see the mansions along the shore. And we saw that, so that's good. Now I quickly look at some of the format in here. Again, I'm reviewing the listing as well as the product and providing feedback. Discover Miami Beach on an amphibious vehicle tour South Beach and admire highlights including Art Deco, District and Millionaires Row with a live guide before splashing into Biscayne Bay for views of the skyline. I saw one view from the skyline pretty far back. Explore the heart of South Beach and see Miami's most iconic landmarks. Learn about the city with an entertaining commentator from your guide. Pass through the Art Deco district of South Beach. And then make a dramatic splashdown in Biscayne Bay. A tour and tour guide. So that's all good things. I definitely want to say, go to the duck tours in South Beach, look for amphibious bus with a duck on it. Now that's kind of general, and there's no address in here. So if you click on the map, you have an idea where it is, but, and I don't like when this pops up, but this is off of Lincoln Road. And so if you don't know where Lincoln Road is and compare to things, Lincoln Road is in Miami Beach. And then so if you're coming from downtown Miami, you have to go here and go to their ticket booth or their offices. And that's the only thing I'd like to see is an address. And then that kind of does that portion. We kind of look at those details. It is in Lincoln Road in Miami Beach, and that gives you an idea. Now we're going to look at the reviews of this product. We're going to look at the negative reviews only, and then we're going to see if we can provide some feedback to those negative reviews. And keep in mind, I'm not being paid by the company, and I'm not being paid to do this. This is just my feedback, so I don't represent the company at all. And we are going to try to give feedback from what I think. Now, let's go ahead and choose 1-star reviews. And I also like to look at the date of the negative review. So this was canceled multiple times and just 3 hours before. And that gives me an idea that if they do cancellations, the tour was canceled and I came from Fort Myers. Thank you. Now I have trouble to get my money back. So the only thing is maybe when you go to the company, before you're heading there, you're calling them, making sure things are working before they get there. Make sure you call the day before if there's going to be any issues. So an hour before, the tour called and said the duck machine broke. Duck machine, I think that's a boat. They offered us a refund. 10 days later, no refund. And when I called, he told me that they're responsible for the refund and hung up on me. Now, you know, GetYourGuide is also part of the mix. So if they didn't get their money back, I kind of doubt that because GetYourGuide is also in the mix of helping customers, and they're all about customer service. So I don't know if I truly believe all that. Maybe you contact GetYourGuide and request that. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. There was confusion about the time since the reservation changed, but the reminders kept arriving with prior reservation time. We did receive a reminder call 15 minutes before, and the representative was very aggressive. Now, when it comes to very aggressive employees, that's very subjective. And that's where I think some of these reviews, they get posted as a 1-star review, and that should drop off for a while. Employees change, situations change, and just to let that happen, there's a lot of staff that changes over time, and to see that stay forever, kind of not fair for the company. We've done the boat tour before and enjoy them. I would not book this through a third party again. I don't know. I think third parties give you an extra layer of protection because GetYourGuide cares about their customers. And we'll just take a look at one more. Your website said that masks were required, and look, so here's a 1-star review that goes back to masks. I think that review should be dropped. I'm not even going to read the whole thing, and that's why I feel that companies like Viator, GetYourGuide, they should consider a time frame for negative reviews. And that is going to kind of complete my review of the duck boat. And what I think is that the expectations is if you get a sightseeing portion while the bus is going and you get into the water, that should be about a percentage of the expectations being met. And I like this company. A lot of people do duck boats. I did a duck boat in Puerto Rico, and that was awesome. So there's a certain flavor for everybody. Now, if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're looking to purchase this, I'll put a link in the video's description. And if you're considering and visiting Miami, then the duck tour should be one thing that you consider. All right, have a good trip to Miami.